Good evening and welcome everybody to the Gilbert City regular City Council meeting of August 25th, 2026. Call the meeting to order. Can we have a roll call, please?
Councilor Toshnik?
Present.
Councilor Gilbert?
Here.
Mayor Oberstadt?
Here.
Councilor Redpenny?
Here.
Councilor Cotton?
Here.
All right, we have a quorum. We have a meeting. I can have everybody help me with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Do we have some additions to the agenda?
We have an addition under new business letter. Well, we could replace letter D, the campground hosts, and replace that with fail annexation discussion.
And special meetings
Oh yeah, we'll put those under.
of
Okay.
9/1, 9/15,
We'll also add
9/29 at 6
6
o'clock.
p.m. Yep.
What's that?
Yep, special meetings for the 1st of September, 15th, and 29th at 6 p.m. for budget discussion.
Right.
That would be letter F.
And that's it, right?
That is correct.
All right, we have a motion to add these to the agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda with the additions.
Been a motion by Councilor Skirvik to add these to the agenda. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilor Redpenny. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries. All right, consent agenda. We have a regular meeting minutes of August 12th. August 12th. That should be August 11th.
No, 11th was the election.
Oh yeah, August 12th. August 12th, and working session of August 12th, and no special meeting yet, huh? Of August 18th.
No, I won't.
Okay, all right. So we had the two regular and working session of August 12th. And the library board minutes of August 3rd.
I'll move to approve the consent agenda.
Moved by Councilor Skirvik, supported by
I will support that question.
Councilor Toshnik to approve the consent agenda. Any more discussion?
Yeah. I know when you emailed these to us, you had the working session of the previous meeting.
I asked Hannah to scan it for me because I had let her leave the office. So it was on the top
Yeah,
of the scan.
so when I got the record one, I just thought, well, I need to look at the working session, so I just did whatever. So, just wondering.
What's your question?
Just wondering how it got in there, you know.
Yep, I asked Hannah to scan it so I could send it, and she just took the pile and scanned it. So
Yeah.
should have been more clear about what it really wanted her to send.
Okay.
Anything else? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Public input. Item 4, anybody in the audience have anything they wish to discuss with the council? Are there no on the agenda? Please state your name and issue. For the record.
Leo Skirvik from the Water Rights Board. I'm just addressing what Bob mentioned about fail. I would recommend to the council to set up a working session with Fail and McKinley on the water usage, because right now they're just paying the base rate. I think it's 52 cents per 100 or 72 cents per 100. They're not paying any base rate, and with City of Gilbert looking at a new water treatment plant, you gotta be changing something, because right now, Fail that I know of is charging $10 per customer for base rate in Fail, but they're giving us 0 of that. I know they're charging those 25 or 28 people, and I think you should have a joint session or get together of how to handle that, and at least notify them that the current contract that you have with them, you should be rescinding it and changing it both for McKinley and Fail, because with the water plant, you're gonna have to raise more money, and they're getting free water. What Bob said is correct, but how you handle it is all in working it out. I think the first step would be nice if we could just meet with Fail, joint session, see what you can resolve. But the current contract that they have, or if it's expired, has got to be changed somehow. Something's got to happen, because the city's taking it in the shorts, especially with a new water treatment plant. Thank you.
You're correct, Leo, but we have to meet as a council first.
Yeah, well, whatever steps you need to take, but you want to give them adequate notice,
We need to know what we need.
we got to do something.
We don't know what we need yet.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right, Mayor and Council. I don't go first. I don't have nothing, actually, except what's on the agenda here. I just hope, I don't think, Paul, you were up at the cemetery. Did you see any additional work up there?
It looked good. So there was no additional work.
We need to get that additional work on the Sabi and go up there, see what, the work perfect for right now, this rain now. I haven't seen a rain like this in a long, long time
I know. I talked to Sam, and he is struggling to get anything from Wasabi bit, because it's the summer and they have a lot of work. He tries. We talk about it at least once or twice a week, about how he's trying to call him and get it.
I don't think this rain was
Look at-
kind to that rest of that area up there. We have to put more effort into that.
We do.
Sabi, yeah, call them up
Okay.
Maybe it's time to approach KGM, because they have that riprap over there on the highway. Maybe they have access to that riprap, and they can come and dump some in there, and we can spread it with our backhoe or whatever. You know, bring a load.
Maybe have Sam go over there and see what he can negotiate with, I'm okay with that. I didn't think it would have helped if it was done already, because they really didn't help there with this rain. I mean, this monsoon rain, I haven't seen, I drove here from Virginia, and couldn't see nothing except the white line that I was watching. It was bad.
That street going by you was neat.
I haven't seen that kind of
That white
rain.
line.
I don't want to see my lifetime, but kind of like my lifetime, I want to see that kind of rain. And that would have helped to have that riprap up there. Okay, other than that, we got some other heavy stuff on the agenda, and heavy stuff in our budget coming up the next month. We got to really buckle down and get some numbers and some answers, and Ty, and hope you can be there September 1st.
You can go through the council. I got a question.
That's a nice
Are
part.
you still there? You're still there? Well, you're doing it first. Okay.
I want Ty for sure come with answers for the Boavic partnership agreement by September 1st, so we need to get something finalized of some sort by the end of that month, September, or hopefully mid-month, okay? Other than that, I'm gonna move on to Councilor Johnson.
I just had a question at the last meeting. I requested the form that you gave us 2 meetings ago, but the work that was gonna be done.
Mhm.
And you said at this meeting you would have that form of what is checked off.
Yep, and I did not get a chance to get it done.
So we don't know what they've completed yet or not.
When I talked to Sam, the week before, he had, I wanna say he said 2/3 of it done. I just didn't get exactly which projects there were. A couple of them were the Oregon court that he has been trying to get a hold of Wasabi Bit for. That I can tell you, and, he's been trying desperately to get a hold of Tommy for all the other projects that we have, the riprap and so on, and he's had no luck doing that.
I was just wondering, those are the things that these public works people were gonna get done on that report. I was just wondering how much of those projects that they had in town that they got done.
Right. I didn't have a chance to update it.
I would assume that would come from him.
I'm sorry?
I would assume that would come from him, to just write the report and not, turn it back into you and say that this is.
We discussed it and I update the spreadsheet.
He doesn't.
He does not. Sam is not, that is not his strong suit, so I have the spreadsheet set up and I make notes on it so that I can.
But that takes away from your time.
I'm still talking to him about it anyway, so I'm doing it and I'm doing it as we talk. So, for me, it's when I update it, then I can ask the questions that I think that you're going to ask, or hope that I know the answers to, so that if he gives it to me, I don't have a chance then to ask it, so I might as well do it as I'm doing it, and I'm much quicker at it than he is.
I would just assume that was part of his job, to update us regularly. Projects that are done, give us a list at the beginning of the month, projects they're gonna work on. I think that's part of his job description.
I don't know that, I guess I don't know, I'm gonna withhold my statement because I don't know if that's an accurate statement, so I'm not gonna say.
That's all I got.
All right. Councilor Skirvin.
The mayor and I went on Monday to meet with Minnesota DOT. Saturday morning, they started the project of tearing through the Summit Street crossing in front of 135, which basically meant that there was no drive-up access for off-road vehicles. I started hearing about that immediately on Saturday morning, and Dawn was starting to see different activity from some of the guests. They were putting vehicles onto trailers to get up there. So the only way that folks from out of town could get there with their ATVs and stuff was to put them on a trailer. So we had a meeting with them to find out what the situation was. I was very disappointed because at the several times that project came up, I know that I vocalized it at least twice about the continuous access for the trails and the way that they would be.
Can I ask who you vocalized that with?
Everybody in the room as we were discussing them.
Okay, but I'm asking because I asked Sam if anyone from the DOT was ever here to discuss the project.
Nobody from the DOT was
No,
here.
okay, that's what my
Yeah,
concern.
so it was a failure of communication on our side to them.
Right, so we don't get a lot of input into the DOT projects. They send it to us and that's kind of the way it works. And when we got this contract in March, any conversation that would have been about this project would have happened previous to March.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, we've had these things come to us a couple of times, and I've vocalized in meetings, this is a concern, we need to make sure that we have access. And it may have been other people in the room, not yourself.
Right.
But I was assured, yes, we will look into that, we will have the conversation. That clearly didn't happen from our meeting that we had, so I'm just updating people
Not a
with
surprise.
kind of where. So, being what that is, so we were told that either today or beginning of tomorrow, that there would at least be a temporary access crossing at Summit Street. The Circle K side of the highway with the new trail and all of the riprap and stuff like that, that was scheduled to be done in about a week to 10 days. So that trail will be, is going to be significantly improved.
Oh, yeah.
So before Labor Day, so that's a good thing. So we were, at least got that update from them. So I drove by today and it looked like they were pretty close to putting in something temporary, but they still had some work to do, but that was about 1 o'clock this afternoon. I don't know with the rain if that hindered them or not.
9 o'clock, you had about half of it done,
Yeah,
at 9 o'clock.
yeah. So long story short, there should be a temporary crossing for pedestrians, for ATVs, things like that, to get across Summit while the rest of the project's being done. So,
And like I say, 9 o'clock was about half done. And I didn't come that way because I didn't want to
right.
come down that hill. I went down to Indiana when I came into town, but it was monsoon.
So I guess the only thing is, for citizens, please use caution as you're around that intersection. Construction's almost done. It should be pretty close to being complete as we get close to Labor Day. So.
We should also say we apologize to all of
Is this my, is your microphone?
We should also note that we should apologize to the campground people that could not get up there, whatever, during the weekend, is that right?
Yep.
It's unfortunate. We used to have a couple gas stations in town. It would have been nice to have one on this end because of stuff like this here. I think we should keep this in the back of our heads. Let's get another gas station in town. But, anything else?
Nope, I'm done.
All right, Council Bennett,
I don't know if we have to move this to maybe new business, but despite the good faith negotiations, the city has been unable to reach terms with our first applicant for city clerk. I move that the offer be rescinded. I don't know if we make a vote on that here, now, or
after the closure.
after the closure. Okay. That was all I had.
All right, thank you. Council Cotton?
Okay, after this downpour, I just noticed, and it's been happening all summer, at least a half a dozen times. Where, where it washes the sand out from behind that new concrete slab that we did for the fire department, and it washes the sand onto the sidewalk. It's happened at least a half a dozen times. I'm sure it's that way right now. And then they just shovel the sand back, and then it happens again the next time. And the sand does get slippery, believe it or not, when it's dry for older people, and you could slip on it. Anyway, I saw when I came here with the rain that was coming off the roof, and I saw how they had that gutter. And all they would really have to do, instead of guttering it down behind that slab, is just put an extension on it and gutter it onto the concrete slab, and it would run onto the street off the slab. Or they could put a pipe alongside the slab running, and they can catch it all in a pipe and run it to the street that way. There's two options. And what I'd also suggest is they put a Y up there, a T, and they could put some of that water onto the grass. And it would water the grass, and it would take care of probably half of the water one side, and half can go onto the street. Because at least a half a dozen times, it's run onto the sidewalk this summer as I come to these council meetings. It would be a very cheap, simple fix. It just,
I agree with you, whatever needs to be done, because I've had the summer help go sweep that sidewalk at least 2 times.
I've seen that half a dozen times this summer.
At least 2 times.
Because I walk there every time I come to a meeting.
After I saw it standing there for a week already, that's unacceptable.
It is, I would suggest that Sam take a look at that. It's such a simple fix, That's all I have.
I agree. Nothing should be done with that, to avoid that. Because it doesn't get swept up for who knows how long until somebody has to say something.
Talking right up on top there.
What's that?
You talking right up on top there with the camera right there?
I can't see where you are, but it's just laying up alongside the building up there. Comes off the roof and washes out every time.
All right. We've got through that. That's it, Bob?
That's it for me,
All
yeah.
right. All right. No reports by staff and boards, commissions. Brian Lindsay won't be here. He'll be late, but he won't be here. Police chief, Ty,
Agenda items only.
are you gonna get that microphone? Pass that microphone around.
All right.
I already told you what I'd like to have you make sure.
Agenda items only. The only thing I can mention is
That's not working.
it's, yeah, I don't know. I'll just talk really loud, how's that sound? So I found a contractor to do some soil cleanup, and we're looking at stuff towards the end of September. We got a couple properties, like one on Differding and another one in Lower New York, that's gonna take a little bigger deal, so we do have a contract that's willing to do it at this time, so.
What was the other street type?
Down Lower New Jersey Avenue East.
Lord?
Matt, can I get you to get that one up at podium, just see if that one works up there?
I'll put it in there.
You blew this one, I must have blew it up. 'cause
That,
it's
I
on.
thought I put a new battery in it.
No, just for now, let's see if that one works up there.
I have a question for Ty.
Yes.
What about the one on Minnesota next to the Block House?
I was supposed to meet with her today at 2:30. She had came in, but we are working with the city attorney and drafting up not a nuisance order, but a health-related order.
I'm talking about the one house up. I know the house that you're talking about, but I'm talking about the one with the camper in the front yard and plywood along it.
Okay, I'll look down now. I'm not sure what that one is now.
And, yeah.
Did we abate that one already?
No, but I think you've been there for
Okay.
reasons.
Okay, I'll have to look at what you're talking about now. Same side as Vito?
Minnesota,
Same side?
yeah, same side, between those, the Block House and.
Okay, I'll look.
So related to blight, question for you. So I was up in the top of the 400 block of Wisconsin, on the corner.
420 Wisconsin.
Yeah,
420 Wisconsin, correct.
is that one on my list?
Yes, that one's on the list too.
Okay.
Yep.
That,
That one's
Back at you, Doc.
getting pretty bad.
Yeah, we do it every year. Frequent flyer.
Just thought of something, Ty, we've been sent by my request for nitric RV for all, showing us all different types of grants that they have available over there, other than public works grants. And then there's a demolition grant, is that the one you're working on?
Yes, the problem we have is we don't have a building inspector to condemn the buildings. And I think I brought it up back in June, and Evelyn's, the one that was licensed to do it, it has retired from Evelyn now. So it's, Mr. Willis has retired, so they have nothing for Evelyn either. So we have to find somebody that's licensed to be, I can't condemn them, we have to have somebody to do it. We talked about back in June, so, but that's that $250,000 grant that's spread out for all the cities, correct? Yeah.
Does Beloved count?
Yes, they do. They do, yes.
Maybe we could ask him to come over and look at it?
Yeah, I can see it. We have 5 properties we can do.
And one more suggestion on that one, Mount Iron has one,
Who's that?
because they have a state code, they go by the state code, so they have a person.
Do we ever find out about the cardboard crusher?
I don't even know. I've got Sammy.
It's still sitting there.
Yeah, that was between the cities. That's not my forte. We just put it online. It's sold. And
It's sold, but the guy's just leaving it there, so.
is it okay? I guess we leave it as if we can deem it the abandoned property. And I guess do it again.
There's a lot next to the car wash.
Yes, I actually took a complaint last Friday from
That's commercial line.
Yes, it is, so, but there's expired vehicles up on there, so.
Yeah, I know.
The reason I say all this, because we have to get some kind of answer, how much it's gonna cost us, and I think some of them are ready to go, I think, correct, or not? Or we have to wait some more for,
We have nothing condemned yet, so,
but
we have 5 properties, yeah.
we gotta start condemning them before we even can wait this period out after that.
Oh, well, absolutely, that's why I brought it up in June, so we figure out what are we gonna, we don't have a budget for it, we didn't budget anything for this stuff, and I'm gonna say between $10,000 and $20,000 to do this, so, process, so. But I can get a bid from the city attorney, because he'll be the one who drafts the actual, you know.
I just having people ask me where are we at, and we are at no place.
Yeah, no, I agree. We got a document, we got to get up, it's just a matter of somebody can document it and we can move forward.
We gotta get to first base here, anyway. Anything else for
I
Ty?
have a question, Ty, how about the old dump truck that, sitting down in the yard down there? What's the story on that, do you know? Is it gonna go for sale, or is it bid, or?
I will check with Sammy, I know we talked about putting them on, we had some more items that we're gonna list, I guess. So we have to list like 4, I think there's 4 or 5 things that you guys consider surplus property, is that correct? Or was there stuff you guys think?
Well, I know for sure the dump truck was one of them.
Yes.
Okay.
I know that there are a ton, there's half a dozen or more light poles that are over by the recycling center that
Yeah.
are sitting there that we're never gonna use.
Right,
There is some stuff, I don't know what shape and what it is, but there's stuff that's in that space right in front of the plows. There's stuff that's just sitting in
you're
there.
right, I don't know if it's anything that's of any value or not, yeah.
We have
You mean it's
all of
stuff
those,
that's buried?
yeah,
Have buried?
we have,
I had requested to get that taken off a year ago.
we have all of those garbage cans now that we've switched to a different commercial garbage provider. We have all those garbage cans up by the Rock House. There is a significant amount of surplus that we should be listing, and we should be getting rid of one way or another.
We'll get the dump truck put on next week, if I can get it done by next week. At least, listen,
What about the garbage truck also, the old garbage truck?
Yeah, the old garbage truck should be,
Yeah.
we should get that out of the.
but that was never voted on, that had to be voted on because more than 500.
Right, so I guess one of the next steps, we have to get a list of surplus property so that we can vote on it at our next meeting.
Right,
And we need to clear it out before winter hits.
yeah.
You know, we need to get rid of this stuff now, and, yeah.
Yep. The dump truck was passed, I'll get that going right late this week or next week, we can have it online, so.
All right. I just remind myself, I do have something to report to the council. I remember last meeting I talked to you about speaking with MinDOT about getting lights up on Summit intersection with Summit and 135. They have contacted back to me on that. And yes, there is a program for that. Like I stated, they would do it and then hand it over to us. But we would not be available for that program until 2030. And in 2027 or 2028, we have to apply for that program. That's as soon as we can apply for that program, and the work would be done in 2030. So that's bad news. Other than that, he said he's going to be working on a permit if we would want to, on our own. They would allow wood poles in that intersection, which is, according to Sam, hindered us in the past. They said no to that, wood poles, and we could get our Minnesota Power to engineer that project to get it done with the wood poles. And they would give us a permit, so that's for council consideration, unless you want to wait till, I told you the timeline is to apply for that program on 27 or 28, and the job would start on 23rd.
So with that permit, my understanding is there was possibly some leeway that they would allow the non-breakaway poles. If so, I think we should go ahead and at least get the permit and then see what, what can be engineered, see where they can be placed, and what the cost will be.
Yeah, I agree, because, 4 years, something could happen, and we could save somebody life or something. 4 years is a long period of time, something could happen. And then we could probably still apply for the job if we want to replace those poles sometime, you know what I mean? That could be possible, but it would be a waste of money of our time. I don't think a waste, but because we want to save a life here, that's the main purpose for this.
And we're probably thinking 2, one on each side, right?
Yep, on the top side,
Yep.
so not when you're sliding in the winter time.
Right.
Top side on both sides, yes.
Yep.
So hopefully that permit will get processed. The guys will get back to me, or else I'll go call him back up and see where that's at. See, no, that's what he said, that we could have the pole, look over. I don't know where he has to go and higher up to get that okey-dokey for that. But that's where we're at. We keep on trying, and hopefully we can get that on our utility agenda for our budget, to do. All right. Matt Reed.
Agenda items only.
All right. Anybody got anything other than the agenda items for Matt? Any notes from Sam? To be here?
Nope. The only thing was, is I gave it to you already, was there's maintenance at the water plant that Trudy needs to have done. So,
All right.
So Matt, the water plant project, that's on hold for this year, or who knows how long?
Yeah, still waiting for the end of the year audits to be done for the last couple of years, and then still waiting on the funding to come through for that.
Yeah, so those audits, well, we don't know when we're gonna get them, even if we're gonna get them this year. But about the rebid process, I mean, it's gonna come down to, where we may have to rebid this because, we're already at an 8% increase, right, with Lake Ed.
Yeah,
And-
we did talk with the city attorney to confirm whether or not we even were legally able to continue to work forward with the bids that we had, and he indicated that we were okay so far to be able to do that. We're having conversations with the contractor right now to talk through the increases that they requested and look at maybe some ways we could value engineer a little bit and see if we can bring some of those costs back down. But we were supposed to meet yesterday, and then Kevin got called for jury duty, so we had to reschedule the meeting. But the plan is to meet with them, and then we'll come back to the council after we're able to get down to a final number and have that discussion.
So, dealing with the PFA, is there an opportunity now to ask for more money? I mean, before this is finalized, to cover the 8% or whatever it's gonna be when the time comes to award this. It may be, who knows how much more, if this goes on to next year and the year after. We're not certain of any timeline here, so, this is just a bunch of problems that sure weren't anticipated, years ago when we started this, but whatever, I don't know what I can say.
Yeah, there will be opportunity, once we get that final number pinned down, we'll start looking a little bit more, talking with PFA, and there's a chance, and I can't say this for sure, but there's a chance that if the costs go up a little bit, it may raise your threshold of grant that you can apply for. Right now, we're at that threshold, but if it raises more, we might be able to get some more, and then we could look to cover that gap, or part of that gap, at least with some other grant money, but we're still trying to finalize the number first, so. That's yet to come.
So the new people at PFA, there's another new person that's taking care of it? Is this, what, the third one in the last year? Fifth one in the last year?
Yeah.
So there's so much uncertainty there that this may go on for, well, when our audits are done, that may be another half a year or so,
I don't think so. I think once everything else is sitting there ready to go, they reviewed most of it already. That was what got them to the point where they allowed you to take that money and pay off that short-term loan.
yeah.
I think once the audits are done, we get it turned in. We've been actually working with their, I don't forget his title, executive director or whatever he is there. That's who we've been working with most recently in the absence of that last loan officer that retired. So he's aware of what's going on and the timelines and all of that's been happening. So we still have the ability to go back and visit with him to try to help expedite things once we get to that point.
So you're hoping to have this project ready to be let in the spring again if it's a rebid or, at spring of next year?
Yeah, hopefully we can start construction. Ideally, the contractor wants to order materials and get that coming. They can't do that until we officially award the project.
Right.
And as soon as we can get the audits done, get them turned in, and get the approval from PFA, we can turn them loose. They'd like to get that equipment, because there is some of that stuff, like the tip-up walls and things like that, that there's a several month lead time on.
Right.
So once they get those ordered, then hopefully come spring, they're ready to start construction. That's the hope right now.
Right. What do you think?
City Clerk Lynn?
I don't have anything.
All right.
Well, actually, I do. I have an update from the audit that I got today. I had sent a message to her yesterday. She said, Chris is working on reviewing the financial statements today and will get you drafts as soon as he can.
A draft?
Yes, that's what she said.
Oh, 23?
Yes. That's what we're looking at.
Draft of 23, that means you're gonna, is it in a book form?
Yeah.
Is what?
Final.
You're gonna find a book?
I'm not sure, she said the draft, so I don't know if it's not the final, so I don't know if it's in a book form or if it's some other form.
We don't want a draft. We have to, we're not gonna approve the draft, we're gonna approve the final. So we need their final, and I think they have to get approval from the auditor on that final, and bring to us,
That is the auditor.
state auditor. Yeah. And then we okay it, because it's been all okay.
So is it gone to the state auditor then?
No,
No, I mean, is it, that's not the normal process to have the state auditor approve our city audit.
Well, before or after it is, yeah. Before or after, I don't know which, before or after, it's gotta go to the auditor.
So the 23 is still on the accrual basis,
yes.
and the 24 and 25 are going to be on a cash basis.
We don't need a we approve it on our own without any recommendation by anybody.
Right.
The audit for, just a rubber stamp. If it's incomplete, Gilbert is legal. This is not, I'm not gonna talk about it.
I also asked them I told them that I need to reply to the state auditor for the extension for the 2025 with timelines.
I'm so fed up with it, the 26 is coming. I'm so disgusted with the whole thing. All right.
So did they grant the 25 extension?
I have to turn the paper in, but I can't turn it in until I have dates from the auditors with an anticipated date that they'll have it done.
Oh. Okay.
So I don't know that answer yet, and I've asked them a couple times.
We have a check register, do we have dates on that check register?
There is no check register.
No check
We
register?
didn't do a check register.
skip that. Time sheets for employees 8/1/2026 and 8/8/15/2026.
I got a question. I noticed on Sam's time sheet, he didn't
It's not
sign it.
correct in the copy. It should be 74 hours with 4 hours of sick and 2 hours of vacation. It was changed
For what
after,
date?
for the entire thing. He had 76, but he had 2 hours of vacation that he took that got fixed on the copy that got sent to ADP and the one that I put in the file. But I did not change it before I made copies of it to put with the agenda.
So this time sheet is incorrect,
Yes,
the one that we got.
yes, it should
So-
say 72 regular hours, oh no, wait, 74 regular hours, 4 sick and 2 vacation.
Yeah, because I was just looking at that last date of 8/14. He claims 8 hours of work, but he's got 9 hours of, 2 hours in the water, 1 hour of electric, 2 hours in the sewer, and 4 hours of sick. That totals 9.
Yeah, it should be, I think that the electric is probably not supposed to be there, but he had 2 hours of vacation, so the total should be, in the end, total will be 80 hours, but 4 of sick and 2 of vacation. I discussed it with him and then,
Yeah, I see there's 2 vacation up here and 4 hours of sick, but then the time that's on there is incorrect. 9 hours instead of 8 hours. Or 8 hours instead of 9 hours.
it should be 8 hours, so I'm not sure where he made a mistake. But it is 8 hours total.
So how do you correct it?
Correct what?
How did, where, he's gotta change his own time sheet because we can't do anything with it. Where does he take the hour off? Does he take it off the electric? Does he take it?
None of the rest of this gets inputted. It's just the total hours that he works. And it was 8 hours. So I'm not sure where we would correct it. I can cross it off of electric.
You can't, but he can.
I didn't ask him which hours. He said it was 8 hours. I didn't ask him in which category I should remove the hour. Because in the end, it doesn't matter as far as when he gets paid.
Well, it would matter what we charge it to because if 2 hours.
We don't separate his on an hourly basis.
If he works in the sewer department for
We
X month,
we do not separate it on an hourly
you don't pay
basis.
him up through the sewer fund?
We split his salary in 3 or 4 different ways, and we just average out how much goes to each one. It would be ridiculous to try to figure this out every time he gets paid to make an adjustment. And that is a typical process for allocating expenses or time. That's pretty standard practice.
Okay, and then I have a second question on the office timesheets. Let me see if I can find it here. I know most of the employees put down how much vacation, sick, and personal time they have, but I noticed you don't do that. So how do we know how much you have and or have used?
I can start putting it on here. It has not been on any of the office staff. We have, partly because I think you know the reason on one. I can start putting it on there.
And also on Marion's, there's no vacation, sick, and personal day time or
I
comp
can
time.
answer that if you would like. When Mike switched the systems over, they took all of that time and wiped it out. I did not have a record of what it was, and I'm not the only one is not correct. And we are still waiting for them to calculate where it's supposed to be.
Waiting for who to calculate it?
I don't know who's supposed to do it, but
I have it from the end
I
of
know,
last year, so I
yeah,
will update it.
Lynn has it already partially calculated, it's just not all
I'll
of
update
it.
it.
And
I
this has been an ongoing issue, this is something we've talked about numerous times.
I have all of the accruals set up. I need to go over them. I asked my summer help to do it, and I'm just a little bit nervous that some of them might not be right, so I really feel like I need to go over the last 2 months or so, just to make sure that they're done correctly.
Well, it's a matter of the third
Everybody's
person.
is different.
The third
according to
person,
absentee
the third
contract.
person in your office has taken more time than actually allotted. So if you have a vacation sick person or comp time, when you take some time off during the day to go to appointments or whatever it is it vacation time, is it sick time, is it personal time, do you have that time?
I try to kind of keep track where I think it is. I've always tried to do that. I asked Mike the entire time I was here. I tried to always make sure I made up any hours I worked or missed because I had no idea where I was at. He rarely granted me time off. So I just,
Yeah, because on the 8/7, you were off on Friday. So is that vacation time, sick time, personal time?
Not paid,
it is not paid.
Not paid,
not paid.
not paid.
That's why
I
it
think
doesn't
she
have
said
anything
it is
on
not
here. It
paid
says
as well.
off. It doesn't have a vacation number, it doesn't have a P.
I could
Personal
choose
holidays?
to take it as an unpaid as well because I don't know where my hours are.
So a person can just take a non-paid time anytime they want?
Not anytime, she asked permission.
Well, that's what I mean, but that would be, they don't use their personal time, they don't use vacation time, they don't use sick time, they just take it as a non-pay, so they can save their vacation.
She doesn't have, we aren't sure where the vacation is, and I told her that if she wanted to take the day off, at this point, she would have to take it unpaid.
Right, if I wanted to
So
take
that
a
I
sick
don't
day, I
approve
would put
more
a
than
sick
what she
day.
has coming, or anything else.
That's why it'd be nice
It's
to
not
see.
the
We
same
should not be
time every
having,
time.
we should not be having personnel discussions in public forum.
This is every
This
single
isn't
meeting.
personnel, this is a matter of.
This
we
is
don't
talking-
know
This is all
vacation time
personnel.
This is
Specific
talking about
person.
2 individuals who are on a payroll.
I would like to see this,
Named.
I'd like to see these boxes filled in. I would just like to see these boxes.
There's
I'll let you know.
there's no discussion about poor work performance here, I'm just asking a question about hours, that's all,
And
that's
that's,
fine.
we've answered the question, we are working on trying to get those boxes complete. The summer help did it, but what she wasn't aware of is that in the absentee contract, not everybody has the same percentages to figure those out. So
I wanna
Lynn has
just
to go
verify
back
that
through them.
The accruals that I have are absolutely correct, and then I will put them on here.
So to be
will that be by the
safe,
next meeting?
Yes, Gertie, it will.
Okay.
I can email them to you if you'd like sooner.
No, just put them on the next meeting.
So this is a topic that Lynn and I have talked about privately, as far as tracking staff accruals for time off, comp time, stuff like that. I do believe that she has that information. I think the next step is to make sure that your numbers are correct enough to share with employees.
Correct.
Bottom line is, the way this process is working, again, I'm going to beat a dead horse. We need to be having a self-service online tool for time reporting. Employees should not be calculating their time off on their own, and supervisors should be able to validate that electronically.
Correct.
So we need a system to be able to do this, a payroll system, a time card reporting system that will do this automatically.
I'm gonna want to make one comment on this whole thing. I think I said it before. I would appreciate the counselors asking these questions prior to coming to this meeting and not taking that time of our meeting for these questions to be answered. Get a hold of them on last week, Thursday or Friday, or yesterday and Monday, when the agenda is already in your hand. Paperwork's in your hand, and not taking up this topic at a council meeting. I know it's important to you, I understand that, that's fine, but I feel that you could get to your answer to your question just as well prior to this meeting, instead of airing it out on everywhere here. I appreciate that, that would be done.
I'll make the motion to approve the timesheets for employees from 8/1/26 to 8/15/26.
I'll second.
Motion by Council Reddick, supported by Council Skrillex to approve the time sheets for employees from period of 8/1/2026 to 8/15/2026. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Motion carries unanimously. All right, community center project updates.
The power was off last week, or yesterday, to put in the new panel. And, as far as I know, it's still on schedule to be the first part of September here, that things kind of get wrapped up in those potentials.
Say that again.
They had the power off there yesterday to change over the panel, and, pardon me, and, it still appears to be on track to do a punch list at the end of the first week of September there.
End of September?
The first, end of the first week of September, so whatever that, end of next week. I haven't heard anything different, and I'm assuming that the power, cycling or changing yesterday went without.
So the plumbing inspectors, the state plumbing inspector that shut the project down for a while, he's doing okay? Okay.
Did the library have their air conditioning working or not? If they need it?
They had, for a time, they had, portable units set around. I don't know if they're off of those now or what, because if they switched the power off yesterday, I don't know where in the process that was taking place.
All right, any more questions by the council for community center projects? All right, land use permit for Steve Fensky, Councilor Fenech, you got anything to tell us on that?
Well, we tabled it last time.
He asked me to find out if they were going to have a gate, how high it was, the type of fence. It is going to be a 6-foot privacy fence for part of it, a 4-foot fence from the shed to the garage, and there will be a gate on the driveway side.
He didn't submit another drawing.
No, we didn't ask him to. We asked him the questions that we wanted to know the answers to.
6-foot privacy fence from where to where?
He said a 6'5" privacy fence and a 4-foot from the shed to the garage.
Shed to the
Assuming the outside boundaries are within code.
Yeah, that wasn't a question previously.
garage. What's the next one?
What was the next one, Mike?
6-foot privacy fence, 4-foot what?
From the shed to the garage.
So that-
Wood and then wire, it says.
Wooden and wire.
I'm assuming the privacy fence is the wood portion.
Which portion? Yeah, we have to-
This.
What's the feelings of the council after reviewing that information?
And then we're up, after the 6 and 4, what's the next one? Where's the gate?
On the driveway side, by the garage.
By the garage.
Okay, so
On the
that's-
driveway side, somewhere by the garage, there's a gate.
I would assume it's where the 8.5 foot next to the garage is,
Yeah.
but I don't know that it would matter if it's there or around the corner, but.
I don't know that there's any reason for us to reject this at this point. All our questions have been answered.
Council feels that everything's in proper order, we can make,
I'm gonna go ahead and make the motion to approve the land use permit for Steve Fensky.
Fensky, I believe.
Motion by Counselor Skirvik to approve the land use permit for Steve Fensky, fence. And a second on that?
I'll second that.
Second by Counselor Reddick. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Motion carries unanimously. Under new business, fire department bureau, just information again,
Yeah,
or?
just to consider that, other areas have much higher care contribution.
And all orders number 30, no, that's something different, no. Number 30.09, council training with LMFC, that's something, that's not your own.
Yeah, as I mentioned in the work session, I'm still working on the language, so we'll see that on the next meeting.
Okay, C, we have,
Did we put the annexation in place of that?
No.
it's on D.
D,
We put it to D?
yes.
Okay.
C, we have award begun bowl landing, SEH approved to go out for bids. Matt? You're up.
Thank you, Mayor. In the packet is the plans, completed plans for the access road and the settlement repair over by the OHD park. And all we're asking for this evening is just to get authorization to go ahead and advertise for bids. We put the ad out Friday, advertise it for 3 weeks, bring it back here September, probably the second meeting in September. And then you can review the bids and at that time decide if you'd like to move ahead with the project.
So what's the estimated on that bid?
150,000.
And how much of
Plus.
that do we pay? How much do we pay?
Of the 150,000, it should all be covered under the IRRR grant. If hopefully the bids come in there.
Are they gonna be blacktop from, where we saw the bids, blacktop ends to their shop all the way to that road?
No,
That's a different project.
that's a separate project, and that's something we're probably gonna wanna talk about in the next couple of years, but that's gonna be pretty expensive. So it would be nice, once we get the bowl landing in down there, if it could get paved all the way over to the bowl landing, that'd be great.
This is just the road to there, there's no parking available there yet or anything?
Right, so we've got a couple different projects going on here. We've been working with the DNR on the actual boat landing itself, the boat landing, parking, access. I actually just reached out to the DNR again today, inquiring about what funds might be available for 2027 to actually construct the boat landing portion. We don't have that money in hand yet. It's pretty well designed, it just needs to get constructed. The access road down to it and Enterprise Trail are set to get improved. Well, Enterprise Trail's already been bid. If we do this, then we'll get that access road ready. So it's been a timing of funding on all this stuff. And we have the ability to get the funding for the other components ahead of the boat landing. So the boat landing will probably end up being the last piece that goes in, but everything else should be ready by the time it's ready. So hopefully next year we get the boat landing in.
So we're going from the blacktop where it ends, this is the piece where they're all the way over to the,
It's gravel. It'll remain
yeah, where the
gravel.
blacktop ends, it's gonna be gravel all the way to the boat landing that goes down. It's just a road going straight across.
Yeah, so where the.
Part of Enterprise Trail.
Yep, so the blacktop ends currently,
Uh-huh,
it's gonna remain gravel all the way down to the boat landing.
all the way down, to including going down. to-
Yeah. We originally had talked about paving the access road, the area down to the boat landing. But at this point, it didn't make a lot of sense when you've got gravel down at the landing, the access road, and then the Enterprise Trail. Plus, they're gonna have to get equipment down in there to construct the boat landing. So it just made sense to hold off on blacktopping for the time being, and we can get that later on.
So the 150,000 is all covered by a grant.
Should be.
Should be.
It is, if it says 150, you have $150,000 of grant to cover the construction of this.
And that's where we're gonna build the boat slips.
That won't build the boat slips, no.
Just wondering, city will, boat slip.
It won't. We'll have to talk to the DNR about that.
My microphone's doing funny things. So, basic question, Enterprise Trail, from 135 all the way to County Road 97, are general vehicles going to be able to use that? Because it is posted in a couple places that it's a private road. And so it is a little confusing when you go down that road to see those signs as to whether or not you're able to access it. Will that be clarified?
Yeah, so we should be able to, for sure, from 135 to this access road that we're constructing down the bowl, and we'll be open to the, it'll be improved, I mean, it's probably plenty wide now, but it won't be a private road. It's not a private road. It's a city-owned road.
It's a city-owned road, so hypothetically, if tourists didn't want to come in on the 135 access, they could come from the Highway 97 access.
They certainly could.
That's different.
That won't be improved at all.
Right, it won't be improved,
But
it
it
won't
could be, yes.
Yep. Okay.
Saying what's probably going to come.
It's-
All right, are we ready to help with this and approve the bids for the Oregon, our new boat landing for the city of Gilbert, because the trout has eliminated our present boat landing for the people down at Lake Oregon, and how long that's going to take before it comes back to where it was. So we've decided to have another boat landing for people who use Lake Oregon across the lake with the help of the DNR and IRRB. And now you're ready to go off for bids. So I hope the council can authorize SEH to go out for bids.
I'll make a motion to approve SEH to go out for bids for the Oregon boat landing.
A second.
Moved by Councilor Reddick to approve that authorization to go out for bids by SEH for the Oregon boat landing for the city of Gilbert, and second by Councilor Bertoshnik. Ready to vote? Any more discussion on that? All in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed say nay. Motion carries unanimously.
I do have a request. It doesn't have to be done on any specific timeline, but now that we've closed the boat landing at Oregon on the campground side, the campground still does rent kayaks. And if there's some thought in some future projects about how we can make that a usable kayak launch, I think would help with that particular product.
Good thought. We've actually been talking about that, so that's something we should keep on the radar for sure.
Just a side note here, I don't know if we made the right move with these microphones. Maybe we should put the one in the ear here, or on right here, so we move back and forth. Think about it for budget time. Getting out of hand. All right, now we can go to number D. Fail annexation draft to allow the city attorney to draft a resolution by the city of Gilbert to annex fail some 25 homes at the end of Different Point. This councilor want to allow the city attorney to make that resolution for a vote at some other point here. So, somebody want to make a motion on that?
I'll make that motion. Have Brian go ahead and set up the resolution for the annexation.
Moved by Councilor Condon to authorize city attorney to make that resolution up to be present back to the council to vote on.
A second.
Second by Councilor Bertoshnik. We'll have a discussion now. You know, again, I said, it would benefit the city of Gilbert. Yes, it would. but it's not the right way to go about this. I mean, these hostile takeovers were done a long time ago. I remember history, Evelyn wanted to take over Fail, and there was a big fight about that, and Fail came to Gilbert, and Gilbert rescued that procedure with a contract for water and our sewer. There'll be 20 years from this period of time, and 20 years later, there'll be a vote between Fail and Gilbert to combine. And each of us at that time, I was part of that, voted not to have that vote. But saved Fail from a hostile takeover at that period, I think. And I've been in jest with from many times in my meetings with different people from Virginia or Everett, in jest, only in jest, saying Gilbert is East Everett, Mortimer, South Virginia, all in jest. And we do this, maybe they might want to annex Gilbert to either Everett, Virginia. That might just open up a can of worms for everybody, because we have lots of land to offer to other communities around our boundaries. I am not in favor of any kind of annexation, period, especially hostile annexation. That's my take on it.
I'm not gonna support spending our legal resources in this way. I think the tactic is wrong. I would support a motion to have our city attorney look at the now expired utility services with Fail and develop a strategy for us to move forward with to right-size that. But as far as the annexation, I think it's a waste of legal resources, and I can't really support that.
Any more discussion?
Let's have a vote.
Yeah? Any more discussion? All right, I'll take the roll call vote. Mayor Oberstar voting no. Councilor Skirvik.
No.
Councilor Bertachnik.
Yes.
Councilor Pontman.
Yes.
Councilor Edipin.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-2. Mayor Oberstar, Councilor Skirvik voting no. Voting yes, Councilor Pontman, Councilor Bertachnik, and Councilor Redpin. So the motion passes and will be sent to the city attorney to draft that resolution. All right, agreement with the Duluth RPD RMS. Ty, we need some input by you on here. I'm looking at something that tells me $1 million, almost $1 million. Is this something we've been doing already?
No, this is, so we've been the same computer system for the past 20 years. And the Duluth, the county, every agency is going over to this Tyler system. So we can no longer, we could never afford to continue Shield as a standalone agency. So most agencies are converting over to this Tyler system. Now, looking at our conversion, we're a little bit behind because we're in a contract with Tusker. We're now looking at other options to try to get the system put in place. But that agreement, initially, I had requested city attorney review it because there were some changes that needed to be made. Those changes were made. Duluth city attorney was in agreement with them. And basically, we're looking at about pretty close to the same cost for the subscription for the thing, around $12,000 a year, roughly. And that's basically what we're paying right now for the Shield system. So.
12,000 versus $700,000 or $800 is a big difference.
My understanding that is the entire, that's the entire thing for other agencies. It's not just, that's not
No,
us.
it's on it to me, that Exhibit A was reflecting that that's our portion.
No.
You're saying it's $12,000. But that's showing that.
It goes by users, but the estimate is right around $12,000 mark, so.
So what's the urgency for this, to this? Can you get that $12,000 in writing somewhere here in this contract? I'm not gonna vote on something
Yeah,
that,
that's fine, yeah, I guess they can wait till next council meeting, I guess I'll talk to city of Duluth and our city attorneys and stuff in St. Louis County and see.
no, there's nothing in writing for a cost to us, other than that $800,000.
I thought there was something in there for $1,124
Per user, yes.
per user, and
Yeah.
it depends on how many users you have.
Yeah, so that is a very top, that's a very top line, it's blank named users times 1,124 equals X per year. So we have how many users, Tom?
We have 8 users.
8 users.
Just the police officers that I'm talking about?
And one administrative assistants.
So I guess, so that's a
Is that-
mathematical formula that we can figure out. Is that, have those costs in the past, and are they in the future reflected in the water service contract as far as the overall expenses?
Yes, that's all factored in. It's supposed to be a reduction of what we're paying right now, for what we're paying right now per user. Technically, this is supposed to bring it down a little bit. And then it also allows, it goes by user rather than by device. We were paying almost $100 a month per squad car for some of the users. Now that's going to all go away and stuff. So we've been told it'll be a savings. That's what we've been told. And I'm actually dragging my feet on a little bit partially too, because the issue I had with St. Louis County and the Nemesis, which all of our agencies are part of, was we'd already prepaid for Shield this year, which is the system that we use, because the county had paid last year. I held off paying it with Hibbing PD because we felt that we're not paying for 2 systems, because the Duluth PD wanted a pro rate. By the time we go live, they wanted a pro rate, so we already paid for Shield, plus they wanted to pay us pro rate. Then we were saying, for me, if it would have been July, it would have been $6,000, but I didn't have it. Hibbing was in this 20, 30,000 was the budget. And you know, in the problem we deal with bigger agencies, it was like, well, it's just $6,000. Well, to put in perspective, that'd be like $300,000 for Duluth PD. So by us being one of the last ones to go live, myself, Evelyn, and Ely and Hibbing are kind of the last ones, partly because we're trying to save money by not just jumping on the system. So it's been kind of, it worked for 4 or 5 years, and all of a sudden, like in May, it's got to be done right now. And you know, I know one of our counselors is kind of familiar with the situation. It hasn't been as smooth running as it was promised.
So then the go live for this would be when, or when would it be on it officially?
We don't know, because our system here is not set up yet. The firewall stuff is not taken care of yet amongst the converters for our squad cars. So I'll be working with Rogers online here next month and try to get it going, because Tusker is no longer going to do the work for us.
So is it something we should be doing tonight or have to do tonight?
We can wait till next council, it's not a problem. If you want some clarification, I'll get that clarification for you.
Well, I think I heard enough now.
It's not going to slow you down. It's not going to be like it's.
Are you using it right now?
No, I have no intent to use it until at least probably November.
How did this come about to our for us to, did you ask for this? Or did Luke just send this to us? How did that work?
So that's the agreement. We had an agreement with St. Louis County. St. Louis County is no longer the host agency. They backed out of that. Now Duluth PD is the host agency. So they basically took over what we were doing with St. Louis County has now become with the city.
So you had this with somebody else?
With St. Louis County, correct. And because Duluth started the system, the St. Louis County's jumping on with it, and they actually jumped on the last 2 weeks now. So, but we're kind of dragging our feet because I just don't think it's right to pay for 2 programs. We already prepaid for one. So a couple of the agencies are just kind of dragging their feet until we actually have to.
So you're going to use Rogers Online, Virginia's contracted with him, right?
Yes, and because to try to speed up, because I don't know what happened with Tusker, but
And I know, well, yeah, we should get back on that subject for the office here and all that kind of stuff, but I know when we had a talk with Rogers, he wasn't certified for all of these yet.
He is now, because he's doing Evelyn, he's doing it all now, so.
Okay.
But we have to work on the firewall here because he's not interested in doing the city work, it's just to get our squad cars up and running, so. Because then we don't want to pay 2 or 3 times for IT services and things.
Okay, well, you bring this back to my attention so we can
Yep,
put
that's
it
fine,
on.
it's not gonna change any or slowing down, so.
Okay. All right, council need to make special meetings for budget and again, Waback contract negotiations. Those 2 items we need to hammer out. September, special meetings for September 1st, 15th, and 29th. These are Tuesdays at 6 o'clock, or off Tuesdays, off our regular meeting dates. So I suggest we make those 3 dates. First, 15th, and 29th. And on 29th, we need to definitely have on our plate adoption maybe of both that contract with Waback and our proposed levy for 2027. I'll step out the chair and make a motion to adopt those special meeting dates.
The mayor who stepped off the chair and made a motion to adopt the September 1st, 15th, and 29th as special meetings to discuss budget and the LIS contract and water contract. Do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
It's been seconded by Councilor Redmay. Do we have some more discussion on that?
I just have a question to clarify. LEL's contract, is that?
Waback, with Waback.
Just with Waback, not the police?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure I know.
Oh, I thought you said it would be the police one also, but that was the police
Our-
with Waback.
The police contract with Waback.
The police contract with Waback. My correction. My mistake.
I just want to make sure.
Do we have any discussion on that? Any more discussion or any discussion? Can everybody make those meetings? Legend? We'll try.
There's 6 p.m.
6 p.m.
Yep.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Chair, back to the mayor.
All right, thank you. All right, now we have miscellaneous. We have moved into a closed session, and Brian is.
Brian is on his way.
He's on his way.
On the way. All right. So in the meantime, we can recess this meeting, make a motion to recess this meeting, and just recess for them, okay?
I'll make a motion to temporarily recess this meeting so that we can go into closed session in 10 minutes.
Whenever he gets here.
Yeah, when Ryan gets here.
Motion by Councilor Skrillex to recess regular council meeting for closed session.
Second.
Second by Councilor Vrtajnik. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, say nay. Motion carries. 7:25 is our recess. And we will be back. Okay, I call to reconvene this meeting, regular council meeting of August 25th, 2026. Back to order after the closed session. Can we have a roll call, please?
Councilor Vrtajnik,
Present.
Councilor Skrillex,
Here.
Mayor Oberstar,
Here.
Councilor Redpenny,
Here.
Councilor Klein.
Here. The quorum is back, and it's 8:02 right now. We, folks, city councilors have met in closed session to review a counter proposal by our interim clerk, Lynn Laurie here. It was the first selection in our search for hiring of the new city clerk. And we came to a couple conclusions, and I'm moving off the chair at this point, after those discussions, to approve the counter proposal by Interpret Lynn Laurie to the city of Gilbert, and accept that counter proposal and as a contracted agreement, and hire her as the Gilbert's new city clerk effective September 1st.
The mayor stepped off the chair and made a motion, as we all heard. Is there a second to that motion? Is there a second to that motion? Hearing no second, the motion's failed. Chair goes back to the mayor.
Thank you. All right, what's the council wish to do?
I'll make the motion to rescind the offer.
I'm going to spell out the offer.
To make the motion to rescind the offer to the clerk. That was, I believe that was what we talked about.
That's an acceptable motion.
There's been a motion by Councilor Skrillex to rescind city's offer of having a contract between the city and interim clerk as the new clerk. And moving on. So the offer is no more negotiations, done.
Correct, the point of the motion would be to rescind the offer.
Negotiations are ended, correct? Is there a second to that?
I'll second.
A second by Councilor Reddepenny. Any more discussion? Roll call votes. Mayor votes no. Councilor Skrillex.
Yes.
Councilor Reddepenny.
Yes.
Councilor Ponton.
Yes.
Councilor Toshnik.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-1. Mayor Overstar voting no. Voting yes, Councilor Ponton, Reddepenny, Skrillex, and Vertoshnik. The motion carries.
I'll make the motion to have staff, have our city attorney move forward with the other, to gauge interest with the other candidates so that we can see if we can continue vetting.
Been a motion by Councilor Skrillex. Any second to that?
I'll second that.
Councilor Reddepenny, seconds. Any more discussion? Roll call vote again. Mayor Overstar voting no. Councilor Skrillex.
Yes.
Councilor Reddepenny.
Yes.
Councilor Vertoshnik.
Yes.
Councilor Ponton.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-1. Mayor Overstar voting no. Councilor Ponton, Reddepenny, Skrillex, and Vertoshnik voting yes. Motion carries. Now we can motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved by Councilor Skrillex,
Second.
second by Councilor Reddepenny to adjourn at 8:05. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed say nay. Motion carries.